It's too bad you couldn't be something really essential, like a financial, or, one of
No,
those
I suppose.
people.
And also and
Again, very well put. So that's what you've been up to after 1998, because that's basically 1998 was when we called it a.
well, you know, you know, you know, but you know, the you know, but so that I was still
My goodness.
I'm sorry, Chris
Chris
West.
West, one of
Do
the.
I know a Chris West?
You look it up in the blue book, the Who's
If
Who.
I remember correctly, he was best man at my wedding.
You may remember him, you may not. He trails in a cloud of glory.
I'm very sorry to have interrupted you. What could you be getting at?
Well, okay, well, let's that I can bring to bear on our work today. Well, why don't we take a look back then? What was
and you know you know so and celebrating marks of the season, let's say, maybe really the you know you know the, a and I had the for the as his
I would. Okay, well, you, of the two of us, you would be the expert in that. And we also managed with all to
they're the kind of individualism that I I'm not I could have you say more about what you meant by the question, or whether you had examples in mind of how of what we were drawing together and how it synergized. But I can say,
well, I'm
overall,
back
that was
with
a general sense.
I'm back with that point you just made about Americans and America, and how we don't draw into these cultures or tribes or groups that properly support our needs from the base of the Maslow's hierarchy on up. And I'm going to have to give that one some more thought, because that's not exactly how I think you've put your finger on something, but I'm not sure well,
that's only one dimension of the thing, because
for lack of a better word,
a mix that the and but it essentially sort of although I have no experience of it, this but is and you know, uh, uh, is the uh, 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 which are really quite funny.
I've never read any of that. I can I can hardly wait to crack that open.
You don't have more of those cards, do you?
Of the cult of Beelzebub.
And when was the last time you took it out?
Wow.
All righty.
I've
Beelzebub is alive.
I
Love it.
thoroughly appreciate that, and I remember making those cards at that card making machine on the way back from the March on Washington. For hours we laughed at those goddamn cards. That was one of the best silly things we've ever done, making those freaking cards. I'll have to make us some more. Really, absolutely. Roger,
Yeah,
what was
me.
your title? I don't even remember what the titles were. I just remember I was a supreme epopt or the ultimate epopt or something like that. Epopt is an actual title from the Episcopal Church. It's like
I see.
it's like what comes over a bishop or something like that.
I'm afraid I don't recall my own, but
You'll have to
it's
make up
marvelous.
something more.
Yeah. There, so, and that, because, if you think, because I think one of the root, uh, it,
And I think that's still
wait, when you say nuns, do you mean none of the
none
aboves?
of the aboves.
All right.
That's what
No
generally
habit, no
no,
frock.
religious affiliation, check the box off that says none.
Right. Not the nuns that are nothing but their religious.
No, sir. Not the NUNs. The NONES. Yes.
As I said to the abbot, I'll get in the habit, but not in the habit.
Oh, that's a Monty Python type moment there.
That's from Stevens. That's Stephen Sondheim.
So I guess that
perhaps just
give
for
me
the
one.
subcultural reasons.
Give me another one.
The and it makes sense to learn more about it and speak about it with more confidence. And I do, and and for example, the
well, yes, with the recognition of what our strengths were, what our weaknesses were. I'd say
that
yeah,
which you
yeah. And Roger, why don't you take that last part?
No, I don't remember what was in the fucking coffin.
And what
so it wasn't anticlimactic after all. That's excellent.
Part of that. Well, think about how you want to consider it. So yeah, with that,
that sustained it through all of that was
yes, indeed. So
yeah, and you were hinting at asking And I'll just say simply that but and you know, to you know, more than you know, but it has, you know, in that in that balance, my
Uh, so it seems that we're still busy asking questions at this stage. How do we well, okay, let me just ask you. So,
um you know you know uh uh you know, what's that? Um
and would you agree with that? Some people with some fairly disparate, maybe even
for
oppositional in
sure.
some ways,
I mean,
belief systems.
I think that the, you know, um you know you know, the
Okay. That's what the difficulty is. We've got, what were we
I mean,
trying
you could think of it
to,
in terms of
yeah, I
right?
mean, yeah,
What
yeah,
yeoman service those guys were
they
doing,
didn't give,
agreeing to serve in that role night after night for whatever they
I,
were paid.
whatever they, yeah, whatever they were paid, huh?
Served the entire, you know, the and you know, ate uh,
Absolutely. And that's, we're looking at
sort of
the two, we really don't. Um, so, so,
I mean, I think that's it. And you know, if it comes to you know, interacting with followers, building a crowd, getting into conversation with others who are, you know, somewhere in the same part of the Venn diagram of this cultural game as we are, you know, getting pseudo famous, doesn't sound like these would be that harmful a way of doing all, you know, of meeting those goals we're speaking of.
oh, and I actually think I could play that role or meet that role with a great more adeptness and responsibility towards it than I could have in the mid 90s. There is that. Um, and then with all the
Also the state,
baggage,
also the, you know, so you know, the you know, we
I
have the plague of advertising. You know,
I think we've got the plagues. I think we've got
we
the
got them
angry
covered.
god, the angry god of profit and whatever else we want to call
Malach.
the angry god, Moloch. Yeah, yeah. Uh, it's how do I guess the question.
At least potentially, you know, you know, you know, that would be my preference. You know,
I
I
don't
would
know.
like, uh, you know, and I
Hmm.
have, I had an idea for, you know, I suppose a dystopia. Everybody has their visions of the future, but I guess I was thinking sometime towards the end of the 22nd century, right? Uh, you know, I think I was going to call it, oh, I don't know, 2264 or 2178. If we can, you know, think that far ahead, that's, is that 7 generations? It's not many more than that.
Okay.
What will we have left? You know, will the will you know, will the United States of America, or the societies and subcultures such as us, who think of ourselves, you know, as part of that larger political body, will any of that still be available? Will it be organizing our collective life in any way? Will the indigenous societies? I'm thinking they may have a stronger sense. So I thought that yeah, around that time would be when the you know, the Indians of New York State, the Haudenosaunee and that group, they may have the strength left to claim authority over what's left of the world financial system.
Wow,
That's my sci-fi novel.
that would be a turnaround.
Right. What's left of it?
I just want to say, in answer to that is
Which myth?
the myth of
Are you signing up for?
progress. Absolutely.
You mean the one the progressives were in favor of?
Oh, those progressives! I remember them. Yeah. I mean, that's what I
But
think of myself as.
before in the funeral home, and we began those seasonal rituals,
Hmm.
you know, uh,
Hmm.
that there it uh and generally opposed, and the may map onto uh you know you know and
I don't really know. I mean, uh whatever nation that uh they should go and screw themselves if they think that progress is neither desirable nor possible, because
who says are live questions in any cultural debate.
oh well, the uh uh tend
The
to year
extensions of
to year,
man,
the
uh, of material
well,
resources you're
of
speaking
course it
about,
is in part. I mean,
or
but
that you
Roger,
only exist
that's
up in the higher ones. Well, it sounds like
you know very but no, it's I consider progress.
the for those of us in the USA, in terms of the you know the
Yeah.
you know but of course perhaps to in the uh you know to you know
I did you what if the I mean that what you know
yeah, just
good
but I
God, what
think
do we fix first? I mean,
yeah.
we've got our economy is driving us over a cliff. Uh, uh, uh
Well, I think we have uh this is the way I'm thinking of it. We're now we're
yeah, we have an
we're,
election this November. Yeah.
yeah, we're we know
Hmm.
about the the and that is the both uh you know but you know you know you know uh 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 you know you know and it, the that something